going, everyone? Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, believe it or not, you already missed game number 1. It didn't take very long. Yeah, it's unfortunate, of course. NiP did get dropped pretty quickly, but I guess that's what happens when you don't have much success in all 3 of your lanes. It's fair to wager your mid game's not going to go well, and, well, there wasn't even a late game. So
the poor ninjas, man. They need to bust out some ninja shit.
I mean, they're ninjas in pajamas,
shurikens.
But they need to wake up. They may be in the pajamas, but they might need to start getting dressed, getting warmed up and ready, because that's unfortunate. And I don't want to sound like a biased caster, but I'm rooting for NiP here, Ben. I didn't come all this way. My last day of casting, I threw on this tie. I'm ready for some action-packed Dota.
What about throw on some pajamas, man? Represent.
I know. I don't sleep in pajamas, so
get your hood.
I could try getting into character, I suppose. But
woo!
Woo! Let's hope we can channel some of this hype over to the side of NiP and they can make a bounce back. But at the same time, Asus.Polar, man, they look sharp. I mean, they looked great yesterday, and ever since their struggle initially against NiP in the winner side, they continue to look very polished, and they continue to get what they want here, and they continue to break records, funny enough. In that game, Lil, fastest Blink Dagger on a Rubik. Yesterday, we saw the fastest Aghanim Scepter on a Venomancer. Before that, Illidan had been getting all sorts of crazy records. So
you know who does make this easy for? Empire. Empire, they're probably like, okay, well, now we know who to prepare for.
I mean, I guess that doesn't work out too well for Polar because Empire could have the upper hand and already beginning their research, but we'll see here. I mean, we don't want to count out NiP yet. Maybe they need to get a bit more rambunctious with how they throw together this draft. We'll see here, but here we go. Leading off the draft, we'll start with some of the bans on the Polar. Since the first pick this time will go to the side of Ninjas in Pajamas, they have to ban out that Wisp.
They didn't touch the Brew. That's not what I expected.
I would be very surprised if Brew was not picked up here from the 1-2 punch of Polar. Unless, of course, they're feeling so confident that they are willing to kind of flex their muscles a bit in game number 2. But no, certainly not, Ben. They're going to get their Brew.
I mean, that's just so obvious.
So
especially
obvious.
with the last 3 games that they had first pick Brewmaster in first phase pick. So when they're second pick, they're definitely going to pick it.
So what would you have changed? Not banning out the Dazzle or not banning out the Troll or just changing them entirely?
They could have just taken Brew. Not ban Dazzle, take Brew, I think would have been okay for them.
Yeah, they put priority in being able to get that Vengeful Spirit.
They draft Witch Doctor, which is a little bit better versus Brew than a Venge.
Anticipating they would get the
What
Brew.
is Venge going to do against a Brew? She's just going to die. She didn't die. I think she died once that game.
If she dies, it's not the worst thing ever. She does have that fun little aura.
You don't want to plan on dying.
I'm trying to look at the positive a little bit for him, but yeah, you're absolutely right there. So they get their Brew, and they followed up with Jakiro, a hero that had not been picked up at all. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
He's off. It's an early mimosa here for the Brewmaster. He's ready to bring in some early alcohol. But we hadn't seen Jakiro picked up at all, except for MVP. They did finally grab it here at the tournament, going along with their push synergy, and maybe something that Polar are looking to do. So with that, they could amplify that heavy siege power. And, well, Ninjas in Pajamas, though they do put priority in getting that Vengeful Spirit, there's still a Witch Doctor there. They can always follow it up and grab it, but no, we are going to see the Axe grabbed, and it's going to be in the side of NiP. So let the dunks begin, Ben.
Dunk, 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 dunk. It was banned out in the second phase, and if they want it, they're most likely going to have to nab it now, because Polar, they just had to do the same thing they did last game. Ban out Veno, take Brew, and NiP, they have to. I mean, if I were on their team, I would be like a little phased mentally, and that's when you go for a smoke break, but or whatever you need to do to calm yourself down. But that was a beating.
That does unfortunately seem to be the trend so far for Starladder 11. It's 2-0s. Only one game had gone to best of 3, and that was on day number 1, and it was Ninjas in Pajamas. So of all teams, they've done it once before. Maybe they could do it again and bring it back. And but it is match point for Polar. They win this one. They move on. They'll face Empire in the grand final. Empire made their way undefeated, mind you, all the way through that upper bracket, and now they will hold a 1-game advantage in those finals. And now, the other thing is picking up the Vengeful Spirit, maybe they put a lot on FNG. They know FNG, usually his 1-2 punch is getting either the Wisp and the Vengeful Spirit. Maybe they're anticipating his support game won't be as potent if he doesn't have his favorite 1-2. But he's also gone to plenty others. The Abaddon has been one. Disruptor is another very popular grab that we've seen as of recent. But now that they already see the Axe picked up here on Ninjas in Pajamas, what's the best thing you could do now to be able to counterback someone like an Axe who seems to be just all the rage as of recently?
Well, we saw Asus run a Ursa, which is really good. Most melee heroes actually get dominated by Axe. Lycanthrope in particular, he fares one of the worst. and I guess Brood Mother doesn't fare terribly well either. But a lot of the in vogue heroes get owned by Axe, so you gotta pick from the 100 pool of heroes. Some teams forget that there are 100 heroes in the game, over 100.
Sometimes it feels like there's 10, and we see those.
So Ursa's really good against him. He has a lot of burst. You want to be attacking someone, and Axe doesn't care about how much uptime that he has. Generally, more uptime against him is good, but not with an Ursa. And those Fury Swipes last a really long time. You can't really tank it.
Yeah.
Roshan can't tank it. How can an Axe?
Certainly so. It may be big and bad.
What other things?
I've noticed that if Axe doesn't have a successful early laning phase, he continues to struggle a bit. And just to go with on the opposite side, if Axe has a beautiful opening game, he gets a great time on his Blink or Vanguard or whatever he could snowball over the place. It could go just the other way, I feel. And we saw that with MVP. When they started out going against Na'Vi, they looked really good with their Axe play. They had a strategy ready for him, and it felt like the Axe. They were even first picking the Axe on their side. But then it ended up being a bit rough. When they couldn't have a strong start on him, he seemed to pretty much be a no factor later in the game. So probably something Polar could look for to really take it to him in that off lane.
Axe is also bad against a lot of magic damage, and Veno I think is really good versus him. Scouts out the Blink and a lot of magic damage to kind of limit his mobility. Gyrocopter is decent. Viper is also good. Like a lot of the magic damage-based right clickers.
I imagine Razor's probably okay against him as well.
He's so-so.
Yeah,
he's
decent. Soak up free damage. But we'll see here. He's aight.
He's aight.
Nice, dude. Finishing out and going into the second wave of bans here for Ninjas in Pajamas. They ban out that Skywrath Mage, that instant cast silence. And they also get rid of Big Brad Brad here, the Centaur War Runner. We don't see it very often. We saw it for Fire. Mike did pick it up at one point.
It's the Mag Special.
But the Mag
Special,
yeah,
the
the last Starladder, man, he was Mag the Centaur. Might as well just change his name to Cent. All right, the Drow Ranger going to be coming out here from Polar. They had used it in their matchup against Fire, had a lot of success. And with that, I can't help but feel like Merlini that they are going to be going more for some heavy sieging, pushing strats. They already have Jakiro as it is. Now the Drow, they might just continue to build up some extra bit of range. And without the bans coming up soon, Visage, I imagine, could be a next grab here for Polar.
I would like to see a Brood here.
A Brood?
Yeah. I talked about it before, but it's...
On the side of NiP?
Yeah, it's pretty good versus Drow Ranger. Drow doesn't have good clear at all, and Brood is a hero that can always stick up in Drow's face. And even if you manage to kite him, she can throw Incapacitating Bite on Drow Ranger and just really limit her potency in team fights. But
do you think it's worth, though, picking up this early? Polar did ban Brood last ban in the previous game.
I think so. Axe is already taken.
So you might as well just grab it now, make the best of it.
I don't see why not. I think they have to go for something different like that. We saw Fire try to handle Polar's Drow Ranger with like a more traditional strategy with the Magnus and a Troll to kind of out-carry the Drow Ranger, but that did not work at all. All it took was one slip-up and boom, racks down, game over. And I think really limiting Drow's potency in the early phase is really important. At the same time, you don't know with Polar. Polar actually does Drow Ranger mid a fair amount of time. And they are on Dire this time. Hopefully, NiP were watching the games yesterday and took note of how Illidan plays. If he goes for HOD, they're going to stack up Ancients and use the Ancients a lot to increase their farm and get the support a lot of levels in the mid lane. Kind of like, C9 and EE, but there are a lot of other teams that do that now. So they need to be able to find the Drow and put a lot of pressure on her. Yeah,
and it was Dire's side in the Polar series against Fire, where he did go heavy on those ancient games. So we'll see if NiP did a bit of their research. I know that they showed up some of pictures on their own Twitter that they've been looking over and researching some of the replays. So I would imagine something they scout out for. Maybe even an early ward to be able to get it, or even an early block. So we can't just get the early stacks in.
I think contesting it is the best way.
Yeah, we'll get the ward for the vision, then you can jump in with something, to be able to ambush that Illidan Drow.
But this is rough. PA is, when you see a Drow and there's still another pick available, so if you pick Drow third or first, you have to expect a Visage pick most of the time.
Absolutely.
And PA, she is okay at sticking on to a Drow Ranger, but at the same time, the magic damage burst from Visage is insane against a PA. Like, PA dishes a lot of damage, and that can work against you when you're getting Soul Assumption charged in the face a lot of the time, and that's like half your HP pool. So it's decent at dealing with a Drow Ranger, but it's very bad versus a Brewmaster, not very good versus a Visage. So I think that what their strategy is, okay, we'll get a lot of heroes that can be up in Drow Ranger's face, but if you initiate and you don't lock down the Brewmaster, which they have no lockdown for him, like maybe an Axe Call, maybe like casts, but like a good Brewmaster like Phobos is almost always going to be able to get his ult off, and this is really difficult for NiP to deal with.
Yeah, this is looking like another solid draft coming together, being beautifully unfolded from FNG. And they were really confident. They had picked that Drow into the Axe, someone who usually is very good against the Drow, but now she has a great support staff behind her with that Visage. And now the Undying is the final pick. But before that, of course, Ninjas in Pajamas grabbed that PA. And then the Witch Doctor. So they will have the benefit of having the Witch Doctor to work against the Brewmaster. Certainly will help out. But now with the Undying coming out.
I like the Undying here. The Tombstone's really difficult to kill in this particular lineup. Phantom Assassin can't crit buildings. She doesn't have Phantom Strike against the Tombstone, and she can't Stifling Dagger it. So all her damage versus it is just straight right clicks, which, Phantom Assassin probably going to have to go for some more defensive items this game, maybe like a Treads, Drums, something along those lines. Battle Fury, probably too slow in this particular game, and all their heroes are just terrible at right-clicking down the Tombstone. And generally, when you fight with an Axe, you want to have the fight centered around the Axe. As soon as he goes in, everyone else follows. But this is playing right into Polar's hands. Jakiro, great at counter initiation. Even Drow Ranger with the Gust, good at counter initiation, creating some gap in between her and the melee heroes. And Undying with his defensive capabilities. I like Polar's draft a lot more here.
I do have to say, maybe one small weakness on the side of Polar is they are lacking a bit of Disable. More so some slow,
they don't need
clap.
Disable.
They do have Ice Path, but yeah, I mean, as long as they get what they want, they will.
Brewmaster where you actually need Disable and damage versus NiP's lineup. All you need is damage and some protection for Drow.
Why do you feel though the last pick Zeus though for the side of NiP? Like what would
Zeus
what
is
would
some magic damage.
The burst to take down Drow quickly.
They burst to take down Drow quickly, burst to take down Brewmaster quickly, and Drow is not going to be easy to take down. They have like so many defensive things for her that if they all in on her, it's going to be really tough unless executed properly. And I think it's mostly, I don't know. I mean, Zeus is just there for damage. I don't really know what else is about it. I guess sometimes you use him for True Sight, but Asus.Polar is most likely going to be 5-manning later on into the game where your Wrath of God won't be terribly useful. Maybe it's to disable the blinks on the Brewmaster so they can't counter-initiate. That's, I guess, one way to deal with him, but at the same time, looks like he can just walk up and get a good Primal Split off this game. I'm really worried about the Brewmaster.
Yeah, looking like a really solid draft thrown together here from Asus.Polar, but for all the fans of the Ninjas in Pajama squad, they're hoping that they're going to be able to throw it back here in game number 2 and try to take it to a game number 3. As the winner will be moving on to the grand finals to face Empire. Let's lead off with some introductions here for game number 2. On the Radiant side, it is going to be your Ninjas in Pajamas. It's going to be Era playing your PA, now working towards the top safe lane for now. On the solo, near bottom, we got 8 Mother who's going to be playing your Zeus near that first rune. It's going to be Handskin, which does translate to glove, if anyone out there was curious. Seal Kid, who apparently is not a fan of animals according to this interview, is going to be playing your Vengeful Spirit, and of course that is going to be leaving Jonas on your Axe. On your Dire side, it is going to be Asus.Polar, formerly known as Virtus Pro Polar. It's going to be Mag playing what looks like the off-lane Undying. He's getting some help and some blockage from their captain FNG playing that Jakiro in the mid lane. It's going to be Illidan sporting the cat-eared Drow, a Toby special. Top lane, it's going to be DK Phobos again on the Brew, doing a bit of a repre performance there, and Lil he's breaking records, and now he's going to be playing Visage, helping going side by side and zoning back Era's PA. So the mid matchup going to be the Zeus going against the Drow. I say that top lane, though. They're actually doing a fair amount of early harassment here on the Era. But how do you feel about the one-on-one matchup here between the Zeus, one of your own personal signature heroes, I guess, and going against the Drow?
Should be easy for both sides. I don't think there'll be a kill in either lane. And Illidan already has a magic stick, so he should be okay. She has much longer range and greater damage, and this will only get worse as Drow levels up.
Bottom lane, they're playing footsie here. Mag is confident, moving forward, pulls out the Tombstone. They're looking for a potential commitment. Jonas finally sidesteps and looks to interject here, and they walk on out. So you can already feel heavy aggression coming out from Polar in this bottom lane right now. Even if it's a 2 versus 3, they're happy to kind of just show their confidence here in game number 2. What about this bottom lane, though? It's obviously going to be priority farm for Jonas with some assistance coming out from both Vengeful and Witch Doctor. They step back to now try to zone back Mag and company, but with FNG here nearby, I imagine Mag should be able to get a bit on his Undying.
Man, sacking the PA's strange.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't expect these lanes, but again, just from yesterday, you can tell that Polar like to run Dry Ranger mid lane.
You can see here Phobos getting in his face right now.
Yeah, I mean, Era can't really do that much in this lane. He can stay alive. He has Poor Man's Shield and 1 Tango left, but not too much. I guess the matchup's not that bad versus a Dry Ranger.
I mean, in any lane, I imagine PA is going to find a way to bring in some CS. You do have that dagger, of course, so there's always a way to find your farm. But it's probably not going to go as easy breezy as NiP were expecting with this lane setup. So Era's going to have to try to make the best of it for now. A-Mother gets that bottle back and returns forward here. But Illidan is 12-3. Zeus has got 14-0 right top of the CS, at least for now, using all that extra nuking power. Takes it to Illidan right there, brings him down pretty low. He bottles up, and Illidan has to play a little bit more carefully. If he's in the big nuke like that, he could be in trouble.
He has salve and 10 stick charges.
He salves up, man. A-Mother really wanted to push forward and see if he could deny that salve, but not going to be so lucky.
No boots yet on Illidan. I think maybe he can go for a kill on 8-Mother. Actually, no, he does not have max Frost Arrow, so a little bit more of a CSing mid build coming out from him with a level 1 in Gust early and the... Oh, Mag.
Yeah, stun on Mag. Mag is just trying to contest this pull through. He's at least getting some XP out of it. Certainly helps a little bit, but they are able to just kind of push him back. Axe, 11-1 on his CS. He's going to go right for those Tranquils. Being able to get a good timing on that Blink Dagger certainly would help here. But it's going to be a bit of time. And top lane, if you look at Era, 5-0. We were expecting him to have a bit of trouble, but you can now see it based on numbers. And if you look at the other side, Brew is 21-10. He's also bringing him some good denies just to even be able to stick it to Era even more.
That's always tough laning versus a Brewmaster. Can't think of many heroes that went out in a 1-on-1 situation. However, they will have control of the runes. Looks like a lot of heroes committing to the runes, 4 in total on NiP. Uh-oh.
The bottom is where they have both sides getting inside, and it looks like Seal could be in trouble. He is going to be your first blood. Jonas does show up, gets out the call, and Mag is still good. He gets his own kill, taking down the Witch Doctor, and now Jonas can't get anything out of it. Mag's going to be A-OK and walks away. It looks like it's Polar who are going to walk out with 2-0 to lead things off.
Wow, that's a lot of slow. They have the slow from the zombies, the Orb of Venom, as well as the Dual Breath. So that's a trifecta of slows.
Doesn't even stop there, Merlini. You got Drow with the Ice Auras. You got Brew with his clap. I mean, you got Grave. All of them can slow.
I could barely see it. I mean, the Venge was trying to kite, but she couldn't move at all.
They may be lacking a little bit in the disable department aside from Ice Path, but my God, this team has plenty of slow. That's for sure. Illidan could be in a bit of trouble here. We got a smoke gank now coming in for NiP, and he doesn't seem to know. He's pushed very far forward, and now Illidan's the one who could be in trouble. They sweep in from the north. They get that secondary stun, and it's a very nicely executed gank there onto Illidan in the mid lane. Try NiP.
A great gank from them, right under the Observer Ward, but they have the smoke.
Surprising, too. I mean, they had been missing off the map for a little bit, but, you know, a couple of them coming back from dead, of course. Maybe they were just expecting they were going to return to their casual lane, but Illidan is the one to pay the price for not having that extra bit of map sense. And now, returning back to that bottom lane are going to be the supports. Axe continuing to bully on forward, trying to find that CS. He's got Tranquils. He's 28-1, second in CS all game. But now, moving forward, they pop out the Tombstone here. Jonas gets slowed from the Dual Breath. And just in case, you will have Witch Doctor with the cask. He does throw out the coconut, connects. Illidan even looking to move forward. And it does force out the rotation from Era. Drops down the dagger. Mag now going to be slowed, and he does commit forward with the blink. There's a soul rip. Still, very, very low. There's the last hit. And they also able to get the kill right there. It's 8-Mother. All the way from mid lane with that level 6. Now Illidan's the one in trouble. They stun him down, and they continue on forward. Witch Doctor could drop an exchange, and there it is. Jonas is able to get out the call, and Illidan goes down again. Back-to-back takedowns on this Drow. Very, very nice.
They committed way too far for that gank. And 8 Mother looks like he's trying to go for a hit on FNG. Oh, and they scout out the ward.
Yep.
That's bad.
Yeah. All right. So
you want to fight around the tombstone. The tombstone was like right here. It was like one screen away from where they were actually ended up taking the fight.
Ooh, FNG finds a nice little closet to hide in. Uh-oh, it could be scouted out here. SealKid's very, very close. He is way behind enemy lines and has no TP to make it back home. We'll see if he finds the opportunity to kind of walk himself out. Looks like he knows that SealKid's nearby, and he has to just wait. So this is a bit of time away from finding any sort of XP, but it is just the support Jakiro. I'm going to keep eyes on him, though. I'm wondering if he's going to find that small little timing window to walk on out. He's stuck. He's stuck right here for now, at least it looks like. Midline, you can see potentially a gank looking to come in here from Phobos. A Blink Dagger again, real quick. Holy crap. 7 minutes?
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Oh, 8 Mother could be in trouble. Did they? I don't even know if they expect that. He does show his face with that nuke, but he's got good position. Very low. They know that he's missing top lane. They anticipate he's had great farm, and now Brew does step in. He's going to get caught with the nuke, so he can't bleed forward. Has to be pulling out the clap instead. Gets the rock off. 8 Mother could be caught out. One more right click. The Soul Substitute was coming in as a secured kill, but they still get him anyways. Now FNG is in trouble. And now SealKid, so much damage from those familiars. He drops. It's a 2-for-1. Make it a 3-for-1 as they do take down the Witch Doctor. But here comes Jonas. Gets locked down from the familiar birds. And Lil desperate to find a way. Maybe all these creeps will deny me. He does get denied. A Hadouken coming up from that Satyr. Helps out Polar with that one. It's a 3-for-2, but they only get the 1 kill.
I have no idea why Phobos didn't blink there. He had a lot of time to blink, and then he just got straight bolted. The Zeus turned around and bolted him. That's how slow he was on that blink.
Yeah, with that successful blink, they might have been able to move in, get the job done, and get out clean. But with the touch of overextension and a bit of a long-winded fight, they do have a bit of a casualty, or a couple of casualties, I suppose. But I imagine Polar is still very confident even in this one. Merlini, they got a beautiful timed Blink Dagger on the Brew. I imagine they might look to continue their assault. FNG scouting out this bottom lane. For now, with Mag on the other side.
It
looks like
it is not.
Axe is going to be going right for the Vanguard, or for now at least has
Bottom
the reliable Vite. But yeah, now they are going to be able to go on the Handskin. The birds catch him with that stun. Very nicely done from Lil. And this Coconut flies on out, catches on both. Desperate to run away, but these little zombies, man, they have so much slow again. They're able to catch up, magging a bit of damage, but they don't have anyone to rotate, and it looks like they're going to be able to just slowly chip away at this Tier 1 tower. With the help of the familiars and even that liquid fire, they might have brought down the damage a touch in the recent patch, but it's still very, very good at being able to siege. They get that objective, and they continue to enhance their early gold lead. About 2K. Air's been pretty quiet. He's been farming up in this top lane quite a bit. He's got that 4-man shield.
He was active. He went on the fight bottom and went on the fight mid. So, I mean, realizing that he's not going to be able to get that much farm and contest the Brew, just kind of picking off kills here and there. So, he's been doing a good job.
Hopefully looking to continue that trend, though. Finding some farm here in the top lane for now. He's got SealKid nearby.
They didn't smoke in a Roche. They just straight walked in.
Did they have the vision, though? That's the key here. We'll check it out. Radiant side. For now, they at least don't. There's a DD, and now it gets pinged. They see the D ward.
Here they go. They're smoked.
Now they immediately move forward.
Do they want to fight into Brew ult as well as a Tombstone?
And a DD Drow. This could be crazy. Gets gushed back. Axe trying to get in, but now he's the one that could get caught out, and he eats a lot of focus fire damage right there. And there's the Soul Substitution. They quickly finish him off. Jonas goes down. Handskin could be next on the list. He drops. It looks like Era now. They converge onto him towards the north, and he will also go down. A quick 3-man drop. They do get Illidan, though. And the buyback, though, even coming in from Era. SealKid goes to the high ground, walks away, eats that urn. Has no more mana, though, to contribute. Macropyre is going to be coming out from FNG. Phobos looking to get in, but there's the first dunk of the game coming out from Jonas. Does get one. Moves in. Oh, he needs to get a lot out of this. He was already taken down once before, but Jonas now the one who could be in trouble, hoping for some spins. They're kiting him very nicely as they spread all about, and slowly they bring down the Red Giant. Now moving into Era, he's able to slash and tame the dragon. Lil could be next. Takes down both flying critters. Now Illidan shows up, gets off the gust, and maybe he just might have overextended himself a bit. Era looks to move in, getting out the heal. Death Ward going to be dropped. Illidan's going to be taken down. Wow, a triple kill for Era right there. Certainly will help NiP, and Mag even shows up. One-on-one we go. He gets the Ultra. Are you kidding me? NiP, a dream come true at this point in the game for them.
It doesn't seem like they wanted to back off as soon as they heard the buybacks. I don't even know if they saw the buybacks. There were 2 buybacks, one on the Axe, one on the Phantom Assassin, and Axe, sure, he was kited, but it took them so long for them to bring down this Vanguard Axe that PA was able to come in and clean it all up. Look at her items. She just has Poor Man's Shield and Orb of Venom and Aquila, just all these really cheap items. Imagine after this fight how much damage they can do. But that was without Tombstone, without Brute Ultimate, and they also did not have the Drow Aura buffed Visage Familiars. Those things own the supports.
It had to be that they did not anticipate or at least know that the buybacks had come on out, and it was enough of a long-winded fight for Era to make his second debut in, and man, did it pay off. The Ultra kill, a wealth of farm for him. He had 1,600 gold, already made his first investment, but Polar persistent, man. Now with what they anticipate the buybacks down and some cooldowns, they move in and they look to finish what they started. Looks like this time they will be successful, especially with that medallion. Roche will drop. Illidan grabs that Aegis.
Illidan is really poor. 0, 4, and 3 on him. I don't think he bought back that fight. Nope.
That's the Illidan factor sometimes. The boy loves to fight, but sometimes it's not the fight you want to be taking.
They're finding Era. He's going for the stack, but he is in the middle of a couple of heroes.
Uh-oh. They converge. They get their silence off, or their slow off with the duel, and now Era's going to be taken down, so they do get that bounty back. An extra 401 gold for taking down that Ultra streak.
Still, Brute committed to the fight. Not so bad.
And while they go on this Tier 1 tower, after already taking down the Roche successfully, it's top lane, where NiP are looking to go for a trade themselves. They will be able to grab this Tier 1, it looks like.
Sieging, trading towers versus a Drow and a Jakiro. Good luck with that.
Yeah, this is a race where you got one guy on foot and the other one in a car. And it looks like Polar immediately go towards that second tower, and just look how quick it drops.
Back. Where's Seal Kid, Jonas Fan, and Ape Mother going?
They want towers. I mean, Handskin's there, I guess, but he's a Lone Ranger trying to pull out a defense, and he could pay the price. There's a very nice ice path. They take down the Witch Doctor. Still, NiP not looking to pull back yet. They want Axe to get his Blink Dagger, I assume.
They should have pulled back like a minute ago.
Oh, man, it just doesn't stop. Polar are still confident with that Aegis that they go into the base. This Tier 3 now in trouble. Force now is the Glyph, with a tower already about a third life. Quickly trying to clear out those creeps. Tombstone still down, though. They are able to burst down the Aegis there with that Zeus. Ult and burst. And with that, it looks like they will sound the retreat.
But they almost lost a T3. It was a T1 for a T1, T2, and a T3.
Oh, man. 49 life. You almost might as well just... I mean, at this point, you could just send a bird in to finish it off. So might as well just consider it done if they ever get the lane pushed forward. Oh, very good
Axe
stuff.
does have Blink, so that it did buy them that amount of time, and it looks like Asus.Polar could get caught off guard by that.
We'll see, though. They are still waiting about the mid lane, and they do make the call to deny the tower. So already, at about 15 minutes in, Raxus explode. They make the use of the blink in. Ult. They get one. Also Death Ward drop. Nice setup right there from NiP, and they move on forward. Lil could be in trouble. Soul Snatcher flies out. Ape Mother finds another kill. Double for them. Then they get Lil. Make it 4. A very nice setup to make a Blink Dagger count. They scout out FNG. They want a 5-man takedown. Era reaching for the dagger range. Just behind. Can't quite catch up. Oh, they thought FNG was just hiding in the trees right there. And they're going to figure he TP's away. He doesn't even have a TP. They just assume he's gone, and they go right back to farming. Again, for the second time this game, FNG just way behind enemy lines with no TP.
So the two melee heroes clumped up together, beating on the creeps, and that was their demise. But now they will be wiser. With the X picked up on X picking up the Blink Dagger, they had an observer ward too, but they just did not see that one coming.
Now with a little bit of pressure towards that mid lane, already back from the dead is Polar. Very, very nice engagement there from NiP previously. So back and forth we go, but Hanskin's going to be the one in trouble now. Doesn't take much to take down the little Witch Doctor, but he ends up dropping right there. A good grab for FNG. A lone survivor that previous fight gets a kill for himself. and pulls on back. He's got that Yule's recipe. And there goes the dagger. They make the jump on the mid lane with the blink-in coming out from Jonas. They want Illidan, but he can't quite get the dunk. He cancels it and now steps back, but they're able to quickly take down the Vengeful Spirit. Jonas also in trouble. Earns out Soul Assumption. They get him. Ice Path not going to be able to connect there onto Era.
That's the power of the Undying right there. They just countered a sick initiate onto Illidan. And although PA didn't commit to that, he didn't actually blink onto Drow at the same time that X did. I mean, that's just devastating. Devastating turnaround.
Undying, a hero we don't see very often, but against an Axe, who seems to be one of the newest flavors of the month, certainly a lot of potency. But with the Rax is already exposed, any opportunity they got to win these fights and any opportunity they have advantage in numbers, they're going to go right in and try to finish it off. Now they move forward. Hanskin already very flimsy as it is. Long ball rock and Soul Assumption. Your Witch Doctor in trouble. Meanwhile, they do get the Rax. Cyclone's going to be there, but it's more space also that this Brew is making, as they have already taken down one Rax. And now 8Mother trying to get them to pay. He ends up going down. Lil's Visage takes him apart. Jonas jumps in, gets two, gets one dunk. Death Ward also dropped. Phobos trying to get away. He's also taken down. Jonas with a triple kill. They're going to take down the Tombstone, but some of the damage had already been done, Merlini.
Damn, what a back and forth game. Polar, they're getting objectives, but at the same time, they're incurring such heavy casualties each and every one of these fights. Ideally, they want to pressure a lot with Brew Ultimate, siege with Precision Aura, and then back out once those cooldowns are done. And then they overstay their welcome yet another time.
Jonas gets a triple, and he gets a couple of birds, a specialty of Axe. Hey, birds. Takes him down. Mid lane, trying to still get this tier 1 tower. Bring a little bit extra gold in. Is there hopefully a point that Arrow will be able to pull together some far to get something done? Meanwhile, I can see Jonas caught out with the Yules. Macro Pyre, Ice Path. It's taking a lot to bring down the beast. Steps back in and will accept his inevitable demise. Small bounty for taking down that Axe and his killing spree, but they do also get that tier 1 tower. Here comes Phobos. No split yet, 30 more seconds. But they have that Yules. Maybe hoping to catch on up and isolate one. Oh, here we go. Long blink in. Hanskin has been having a hard time this game on your little support Witch Doctor. He's already 2-7.
That's way too deep. Look at their teammates.
But look at him go there. Yeah. Committing a lot here. Phobos could be in trouble. Yeah, that's so much damage. He could end up going down just because of that curse. Overextension once again from Polar. They're a bloodthirsty group.
They had so much time with the Axe down, and with that overextension, instead of just simply pushing mid, they will not be able to capitalize. It looks like Era might be actually, he's going in on this.
Yeah, the burst is there. Illidan trying to walk away, slow down a little bit. There's that dagger, and he gets the crit. Does commit for the jump. Ice Path connects on 8Mother from behind, but there's a swap back, and they get Illidan with another crit there at the end. Jonas is back, looking for the initiation, jumps forward, gets a hold of Lil. Meanwhile, you see 8Mother on the left-hand side. Potentially caught out. They take Ape. Zombies going for Venge. Double kill there. Mag also fighting his own, going toe-to-toe here, a 2-on-1. It looks like another big fight. The dunk's not going to catch. It doesn't matter. Era's right there to lay it back in. Double kill for him.
Phobos. It's all possible because he chased for so long. He chased from the exact center of the map to right outside of T3 on bottom.
Yeah, he went a bit ham.
And his team wasn't with him. If his team was with him, they can potentially save him with like Undying Heals and the mech. But yeah, the Maledict, he really underestimated that damage.
Yeah. How many levels does he have? He has only 2 levels in it, but that's more than enough with the heavy burst that Zeus brings out. And Era has 3K gold, quickly. Already has his drums. What do you invest for this opportunity?
I think BKB to stick on Drow and just take her out of the fight. They have heals for her, but with Zeus and with PA, they should be able to bring her down. I think bringing her down is just so important. She's already very underfarmed as is. 0 and 7. The deaths keep mounting.
So as you can see on that net worth graph, things are right back and even. Though it is Polar who have more objectives done. Remember that mid lane 1 Rax was dropped. It was only the ranged, so it's not too devastating there. Polar step back, maybe going back to the roots a bit. Don't want to get too heavy on the blitz plays.
And just waiting out Roche.
Yeah. They'll just go back to their more patient, methodical play.
Keep in mind, Roche is like a much more difficult fight for NiP because if Mag puts his tombstone on the high ground like he did in the last engage, there's like almost no way that they can kill it. And it's going to stay alive for the full duration.
Here comes the ninjas. Drop down the ultimate to get that extra bit of vision, but already on the spread is Polar. And probably had the idea. These aggressive wards that Polar have out at all times.
Counter-smoked. They counter-smoked.
Oh, counter-smoke back. Illidan's pops. But they still have 8-Mother and Era smoked up. Jonas waiting on the side, maybe for a jump in. Ooh, overextension from Illidan. There's a swap back in the quick dunk. Beautiful setup right there. Now it looks like Phobos is going to be forced to pull out the split. They still want to engage even out the drow. And they could be in trouble. Cyclone up there, you can see, onto Jonas. Era trying to find a little corner to hide away. These zombies on pursuit. So close to that BKB. He ends up getting taken down from that soul assumption. It's looking like Polar on the return. Seal Kid, 8-Mother trying to get away. Death Ward going to be dropped. Handskin, those Cyclones right up. They get another one right there. Seal Kid ends up going down. Handskin and Jonas, the last one's left. They throw up the Yules right there on a Jonas. They get Handskin, and now they look for their own 5-man takedown. Axe is going to be dropped. Triple kill for Lil and Visage. All at the expense for just Illidan.
So that's the difference in between a fight with Brew and without Brew.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Drow Ranger died at the beginning of the fight with just swap use. So, I mean, she was pretty much a non-factor. And the other 4v5 was with Drow instead of a Brewmaster, and that went terribly for them. And that was some sick cycloning action by Brewmaster. He cycloned the Axe while he called with Blade Mail on. He cycloned the Witch Doctor while he was channeling his Death Ward. And he just completely owned that fight. So making up for that last overextension and then some.
The power of the Brew. Empire may be on the side watching this game and anticipating that if they are to face Asus.Polar, that they should strongly consider having Brew involved in the first 2 banning. But for now, very patient. This Roche pops up right now, and they go right to town. I mean, can you imagine the life of Roche? Comes back to life and immediately just gets right into a fight. Guys, I just got back. Come on.
It's okay. He's immortal.
Yeah, but he's like, I just came back. Now I got to wait again. Whatever. Take my Aegis, get away. Asus.Polar happy to snag up that little treat.
Drow had his smoke popped, and he still was out like pretty far. They're always looking to go on him with Axe, with PA, with Witch Doctor, Death Ward, Maledict, with the swap, and he has to be very careful of his positioning. Way more than he has been.
8-Mother has been bringing in some really nice burst potential. He has his Blink Dagger now, Arcanes, and farms up this top lane side by side with Seal Kid a bit. But after grabbing that Aegis, looks like Asus.Polar are going to do what they did previously. Start marching down these lanes, start taking down towers, start getting rich. As they go right towards this Tier 2 tower, all the while, NiP are moving this mid lane.
This fight could be a lot different. PA has a BKB this time. He died very early last fight.
Where will the fight be, though? They already get that Tier 2, and they're trucking towards the base. NiP need to be coming back at this point. It's taken quite a while to take this Tier 2, plus they pull out the Glyph. How long do you want to stay before you risk losing a Tier 3 and potentially some big damage on those racks? Don't underestimate the power of the Drow. Aegis in hand, though, they're feeling pretty confident now. The Ninjas Pajamas putting on their defensive uniforms here. The still siege happening here. They're going to be able to get it from the low ground.
I think they actually have to back off without any Brew Ultimate, though. There's no Tombstone, there's no Brew Ult. They should back off. They realized their mistake last time was fighting without Tombstone, without Brew Ult, and it should just be back until it's up again.
Ooh, immediate Yules right there. Very nicely done under Jonas, but here comes Era with that BKB popped. He's trying to close the gap and take out Illidan. Illidan does have that Aegis, so he's got to take it down twice if he wants that. Meanwhile, Mag going to get caught out there from Jonas. They drop down the Undying. They also take down Visage. Now they're looking to go onto FNG. Illidan very low, still with that Aegis, already on the way out. There's a dunk. Jonas gets that one. They get 3. Long ball swap catches. And it looks like they will be able to take down both the lives of Illidan here. A big fight coming out from NiP at only the expense of the Tier 2 and 3 tower. Plop on the head. Right there from Jonas. Double kill for him.
The way that Polar is engaging these fights, I think they can afford to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah.
They use Brew Ult simply to zone, but NiP weren't actually going in. They were just waiting for Polar to fight like way deep inside their base where they can pull away from the tombstone and pull away from all the summons. So if they just have like Drow slow sieging and then top her off with Mech, top her off with Urn, top her off with the Soul Rip while she's sieging, I don't really think that NiP can stop it. If they go in with Axe, then they want to counter-initiate, then they want to drop the tombstone. But until that point, I think they can take it a little bit slower. I think they really want to end the game. They don't want PA to get nice and fat, but now that she has BKB, 1,700 gold on top, it might be too late.
We saw that passive, patient play when they went against Fire. And this time, though, it seems that they just are boasting a lot more confidence. And it's interesting because this is a game where there's a lot more at stake, a lot more money on the line to just kind of secure a spot, even in the grand finals, has a nice little difference in prize. So they do need to maybe second-guess their opportunities on being able to make those engagements with Bruise ult not being online. Axe gets a couple of birds previously and managed to finish out his BKB, and they could get a hold of Phobos here. Do they have the lockdown jump in? Cole is not going to catch. And Phobos is going to be A-OK. And in fact, now he's going to be the one going on the assault. Moves forward, gets some swats in right there. Still has the split if he wants to use it. There's going to be the cask. He does get prevented from splitting, and they turn back. They get a call Death Ward. Can they take down Phobos? They can. He gets the split off. He'll be okay to go and engage. Hanskin now going to be caught out with that ice path. Move forward. Axe goes down. Hanskin drops thereafter.
Wow. Axe ran out of mana to Cole. I thought the Cole was coming on Brew. It would have been really close. He got mech'd as the Cole was about to come.
Very unfortunate. Had he got that first jump in, things have gone very, very differently. It was just off by what looked like inches. And that allowed Phobos to turn things right around. And with that, both Axe and Witch Doctor down. Asus.Polar strut their stuffs down this mid lane where they had already taken down the range. Now they want that melee.
With no buyback on Axe, it should be a fairly easy fight for them, even though they don't have Brute ult. They can try their best to stall.
Yep. Throw up the Yules. Let's see if they can stall enough. Era pops out his BKB, makes it go into Illidan, does get the crit. Takes him down, but now Phobos moves in BKB. This could be a really good defense. FNG barely alive, walking away. Healed up from the Yules. Now they turn back on to Era. Era in trouble. Era goes down. Lil Hardy gets it done. And now the last racks in this mid lane in contention. Era buys back. So does Vengeful Spirit. Desperate to make sure they can save that last racks. It looks like they will save it. Mag slowly walking away, pulls out the TP. There's the swap. Okay. Whew. Looked like he might have been able to get away there, but the swap does come out. And they have taken two.
So things may proceed a little bit differently now that Drow doesn't have her, or now that Drow has her BKB. Era has just been nailing in on Illidan every single fight. 0 and 10 on Illidan. Still, he's halfway to the Milk Award.
You would have thought. 0 and 10 Drow. But they're doing just fine. I mean, it does force the Ninjas to have to use some buybacks, but they do defend the base. Good for them. We might expect now Polar to play it slow once more, especially, you know, with Phobos' split. They're going to have to wait. Actually, it's already up, but maybe they wait for Roche. Depends how passive they want to go here.
Illidan is going to actually be scouted out if he pushes up to this wave. They have an observer ward immediately to the southeast. But
Nice
now they know
spot.
he has BKB.
Yeah. But they're actually thinking to make it go on FNG.
FNG's waiting for someone to farm the wave so they can initiate.
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
Both sides camping it for now, but...
Top lane, Handskin.
Uh-oh. Hanskin have been in trouble. These frickin' birds. They move forward. And it's going to be what looks like a solo pick right here for Lil, who is grossly farmed, mind you, already on this Visage. Agnums, Yules, 2K gold.
That Yules on the Axe on the bottom lane was sick, too.
He's been playing out of his mind. Bottom lane, they're also making it go. Jonas trying to walk away. Steps back, battle hunger, forced to pull out the BKB, turns his sights back onto Illidan. He wants blood. But there's a big heal coming out from Mag. And Axe could be kited from all sides and will be. Jonas goes down. 2 drop all day.
Bruce Spit committed to almost try and take down 8 Mother, but he was just a tad bit too slow.
So 8 Mother makes his way out and back to home base. But they get a nice couple of kills there. 30-33. Kills may show things to be pretty close. Net worth, though, really in favor of Polar right there. Obviously, with all the structures they have brought down already. Still hadn't been able to finish off that melee racks in the mid lane, but they are moving towards bottom. And they are going to be doing this without the split, Merlini. They've had bad luck with that before. Let's see what they can do here. Immediate cask. Era jumps in. BKB. Self-fuels. FNG's going to be all right for now. I say that, but then he gets dropped thereafter. And now 8 Mother on the way out. Nice jump in. Comes out. Phobos at the same time trying to like prick with the BKB. There's the dunk. They get 2. And now Mag under fire here. Pops his blade mail to try to return some of the damage back onto Era. But they're not letting up. Era trying to find the dagger. Can he get it? Can he get it? Meanwhile, back in behind, it looks like Axe trying to clear out some of those creeps, but Mag's still running. Era still wants him. Actually turns off to the left. That was not the way they went. There's the dagger. Blinks in from above. Blade mail popped again. He doesn't care about no blade mail. Ugh, this is a slow one, but they get it.
That's daytime for you. Couldn't come at a better time.
Yeah. Dagger from downtown sets that one up.
Oh, no. The Roach is about to respawn. Era's going to walk in, and it's going to respawn like 5 seconds after he goes in there. Oh, no.
Hey, Roche is happy. I actually get to live a little bit this time. But yeah, unfortunately not going to be able to scout that one out. He could check it again, though, after he brings down this Tier 1 tower. Pop that glyph. Glyph it or ticket, Polar. You get that free refresh. You might as well stall a little bit while you can. Anyways, they do manage to what looks like take down maybe a potential bird there on the bottom lane. But NiP, there's only 2 or 3 of them. They make the jump on forward to get a hold of FNG. Maldic, self-fuels for now. We'll be able to, nope, gets taken down. Eric committing, going behind. Scouts out Illidan, can't commit for it. Now has to run away with BKB, slowly to wear off. Hanskin, he's been on the back end of a lot of deaths here. At 4 and 10, he does go down. He is sporting a better record, I'd have to say, than Illidan, though, so I'll give him that one. 0 and 11 still for, of course, Illidan, but where they make a lot of kills happen on Illidan, the rest of his team continue to find a lot.
They have the TP back because of the precision aura on the creeps. It was sieging their melee racks, and this will open up Roshan for them.
Yeah, they hit so hard.
The precision aura.
55 plus 44. Rough. And now with that, they have the space. They move right into the Roche pit. Though they are nearby, Era still needs 20 seconds before he has a BKB.
That's an Aegis. That's
yeah,
cheese.
That's going to be a free Aegis grab. Oh, sorry, Roche. Life didn't live long, but they take it.
They're also getting Mass Atos. We see 2 out already. One on the THD, one on the Visage. Oh, wait, not the Visage. One on the Undying. So this is just used to kite Axe as well as the PA because their BKBs are running low. 6 seconds left on the PA, 8 seconds left on the Axe. And that's Atos is actually really annoying. I think it actually forces you to pop BKB like 1 or 2 seconds earlier than you would want to normally.
The AoE special. We don't see it very often, but it provides a lot. As far as utility, the extra life points certainly helps. The long range slow. We've already seen plenty of times where they're able to kite Jonas's Axe. Now it becomes just that bit easier, given that he does have the BKB, but already down to 8 seconds. You got to make sure every BKB counts. Now he's able to throw together a fancy schmancy Crimson Guard.
That's a big pickup. 50 damage versus these familiars is a ton, especially since Illidan doesn't have that much agility. He's forced to go a lot of defensive items. He has armor from HOD, HP and magic immunity from BKB, but no agility items aside from a kilo.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now Polar pull back, move through their own woods. A lot missing on the map here. You can see for NiP they don't really have vision, but by deduction, they probably assume they're up here in the woods somewhere.
Precision aura also was just popped.
Yeah.
So this makes it really tough for the left lane.
As you saw, though, not even a lot of vision there for Polar side. So NiP are also will get to work in the dark quite a bit here as they're down on the bottom. But it looks like Polar, creep wave now coming in from the top in a very low tier 2 tower. They're going to continue to add pressure on the mid lane, and this will end up forcing the Ninjas of Pajamas to get back. Not before they're able to take down this tier 2 tower, though.
This is the one. This is the fight that can blow things right open. NiP doesn't have a melee Rax down yet, so they're definitely still in this game, but the range Rax is like 100 HP, the mid Rax is exposed, and PA is getting to that point where she could be the unstoppable force.
Era gets the basher and still has the gold for the buyback if necessary. We'll see if it's something he has to pull out. There's the swap onto Lil. The Yules saves him for now. Jump in. Blade mail popped. Can't finish him off with the dunk. He gets the cheese off, and he's going to be fine. Soul Assumption back. Witch Doctor in trouble. Does go down. Phobos with the killing spree. Takes also the Vengeful Spirit. Axe desperate to try to get at least something out of this one. And he also will be slain. Era going to be next to drop right here. And it looks like NiP could be in trouble and potentially eliminated from Starladder 11 after a very impressive day 1 and day 2.
Crimson Guard was not popped that fight on Axe. That's a really big deal.
Oh, man.
He just acquired it, the shiny new armor.
So shiny, he didn't even want to use it. Now they go. Will they get Lil this time? It's still a struggle. Era, desperate to get something. He can't. Walking away, slowed from Illidan. Will Illidan get his first kill of the game? He already got it, but they get a full 5-man takedown, double kill for Lil. And this might be it. 8 Mother even pulls out his own buyback, but the damage has certainly been done here. Now even 8 Mother could be caught out in a dieback for him. The ninjas in pajamas might be going to bed.
The classic Drow visage.
The classic Drow visage. They move forward, going for the jugular.
Damn, Lil's a beast on that visage, for real. Look at his items. 15 and 8. That cheese pop, though.
Yeah.
I guess he had buyback anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was.
He is third
nice
on net worth on this support visage. And now
he gets all the kills.
The last hurrah as the final shrine is to drop. NiP, their road ends here. Asus.Polar, they continue the 2-0 streak that we have seen all through Starladder Season 11, and they will be facing Team Empire in your grand finals.
GG, respectable run. Congrats to NiP for 3rd place. Very fantastic showing to them. I'm sure they're not terribly happy about dropping this series, but I think overall, I'm impressed by them. Everyone else?
Oh, yeah. They, without question, they've won over a lot of new fans with their run here at Starladder, and they really took in the opportunity. They walk away with a nice chunk of change. 3rd place, 4th place? But now...
3rd place.
3rd place.
3rd place. Hey, is that Zyori? Is that Gods? Yes, it is. They have joined us back on the panel. Gentlemen, how's it going? A 2-0 once more.
It's going very well, KOTLguy, but what a series. As you mentioned, we've still had only one best of 3 go the distance into that game 3. Hopefully we can break that trend coming into the finals, but wow, what a series and what a crazy matchup. Support Drow Ranger here in our loser bracket finals. Who'd have guessed it?
Innovative stuff. You know, I gave Illidan some crap about his hero pool, but I stand corrected. He's played 9 different heroes in 9 different matches, so it felt like drafting against Asus.Polar. You know what his preferred heroes are, the Slark, the Anti-Mage to some extent, but he's pulled out the Tiny, the Drow, the Morphling, Slardar, Ursa, Medusa. It's constantly just bringing out something new. His performance on the Drow Ranger, obviously not what he would have hoped for, but it was all about the strategy this game rather than like his individual performance.
Yeah, definitely. It could bode well for an interesting finals. We've seen Empire with a very diverse hero pool this tournament as well, so we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. But that cheese pop from Lil at the end, as Merlini mentioned, had a buyback. It was kind of over anyway, but what a clutch play.
MVP Lil that game.
Oh, yeah.
That Visage, man, was grossly farmed.
He was on your
I was just thinking
draft. The reverse fantasy.
Reverse fantasy. Lil, I don't know who you are, buddy,
No,
but
Phobos was the one I didn't know.
Phobo-
Same team. Also a great
Well, you
player.
still
but
pick
Phobos.
Lil.
I think
Did I
you,
pick Lil's
you
well?
took Lil and Phobos.
I'm going to
like
go
he-
back and check the tape.
You're
I'm
like,
pretty confident it
You're
was
like
Phobos.
he sounds like a random support that's beast.
I said that for Phobos. I'm confident.
He had top net worth at the end. He was going out of control.
No.
Oh.
I mean, I may not know, but I know now.
Yeah,
Lil,
there you
if
go.
that's the case, Lil is a top-notch player. And I knew coming in this tournament he had a lot of Visage play, and now he pulls it out where it counts, man.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Rocky game 2, but as Ben mentioned, NiP, a pretty good run. I think they were a team that no one really expected
They're
to
on
go
the
this
up and up.
far. They really are. The NiP is on the up and up, that's for sure.
Yeah, they had their first big LAN in China where they really struggled. That was overseas, and they stayed within Europe. Second performance, 3rd place. Agree. They're on the up and up. They're a team to look out for, and definitely we're going to be seeing more of them in, I think, top-tier competitions in the future.
Absolutely.
They show a lot of promise. Okay, well, I guess it's time to take a break and then get buckled in for the grand finals. We will have a break, folks, and per usual with Starladder, we're going to do the whole grand finals entry thing with the music, so there will be a break as we get set up, and we'll update you with the time once we talk to our admins and see what the actual plan is, given that we ended early again with these 2-0s.
You know, with all the 2-0s like we've had, this grand finals, we deserve a full 5 games, constant, 90-minute nail-biters. That's what we should have in store. If there's some karmic god out there, that's what we get.
You know what? If there is a matchup, these two teams will bring it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And remember, Empire, they're up 1 game in this best of 5, so already with a little bit of
They
edge.
haven't
but
fought yet.
They
I
haven't
think
fought.
that's really exciting.
Yeah.
You're right. They have not squared off yet in this tournament. They have a long history playing each other, but first time in this tournament for the grand finals, making things interesting. I'm getting nerd chills just thinking about it, boys. All right, folks, stick around. Come on back for the grand finals. Starladder Season 11 conclusion coming up after this break.
esportsbets.com, the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone. We have over 200,000 users registered. Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.